Hey guys, Corinne Sutherland here from Sweet and Sassy Stamps and the Stampers Boutique. Going to be sharing a cool masculine card with you today using some of our newer products. First, I'm going to start out here with our new shiplap background. I am using my MISTI to stamp this large background. It's a 6x6, approximately 6x6 background, and I'm going to stamp that on this whole sheet of paper. And then I'll eventually cut this down to fit on my card front. But you can see I'm using my MISTI so I can get a fun full background. I didn't ink my stamp all the way because I wanted it to kind of be missing spots, and it's going to be all grungy anyway, so I wasn't going for a perfect impression, but the MISTI just really makes it easy for stamping this kind of a background. So now I'm adding a little bit of another texture using our mixed up stencil. This is a really fun stencil. It has some words in it and some even some Bible references and things like that, just little hidden gems inside the stencil, but you can use it a lot of different ways. So it adds a cool texture on top of a texture. And now I'm going to take my distress ink and I'm going to add another texture on top of here. So I just used water and the ink on my craft mat to just pick that up with the paper. And now I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to use a paintbrush and I'm going to just flick some of that color on there to add some paint splatters. Next up, I'm going to color a couple of images from this sheet of stamped images, and we'll use those for our card. Now, I know some people don't really like to watch coloring. It is kind of a time-consuming thing to watch, but then I have a lot of people who often will tell me they want to see the coloring. So for this video, I am showing you the coloring. Feel free to zip past this if this is not your cup of tea. I am also showing you the colors of the Copics that I'm using for your reference if you like that sort of thing. And I also just wanted to kind of share a little tip with you about this sheet of images that you're seeing. One of the things I like to do with a stamp set that has a lot of different images and sentiments in it, this is a time saver for me, is I take the whole stamp set. I don't take any of the stamps off of the carrier sheet. I just take the cover piece off of the stamp set, and then I tape the whole set onto my MISTI, and I stamp the whole thing on a sheet of paper. This is great if you have matching dies, or a brother scan and cut, or if you don't mind fussy cutting, because then you've got all these images and sentiments already stamped, already ready to roll, and you can just color them at your leisure, cut them out when you're ready, whatever. So this is just kind of a fun time saver for me. Obviously that might not be your favorite thing. If you like to have a little bit more space around your images when you're stamping, that's fine. But for what I'm using them for, this is perfect. So finishing up this image, and then we'll move on to the next step. And by the way, I totally forgot to mention, this is our Masculine Mashup stamp set that was released in May, and it is super fun for so many different guy cards. So if you stuck with me this long, you might be wondering why this video is a square. That is because I made the mistake of filming this with my camera upright instead of horizontal. So there you have it. I'm sorry that more of this is not visible to you, but sometimes that's how it goes. So now, yes, you guessed it, fussy cutting. I know not everybody's a fan of fussy cutting. I find it to be somewhat relaxing. It really doesn't bother me a whole lot. Now, I wouldn't want to do it with super intricate types of images, but for these two little images, it was totally fine. We may come out with some dies for this stamp set in the future. We typically kind of base that on the popularity of a stamp set before we do dies, because dies are such a big investment. So if you've ever wondered that, why we don't have dies for all of our stamps, that's why, because we have to be careful with our finances. We are still a very, very small fish in a very large pond of stamp companies, and we still are very careful with our spending. So that is the reason. So as I'm fussy cutting this, you can see I am trying to move the paper and not so much the scissors. That does actually really help with your fussy cutting. So now I'm going to take my images and set them aside, and now I'm going to do something really fun. So this is these letters are from our Boss Lady Alpha die set, and I had pre-cut these out of some green paper. The word is enjoy, and I wanted them to be kind of almost look sort of embossed or sort of 3D. So I'm using my Copic markers to go around and just outline each letter, and then I'm going to go around with a lighter marker and kind of blend that out, and it's going to give you kind of a faux, almost like an engraved or embossed type of a look, which you'll get to see when I'm all done. Okay, so now my word is all ready, and I'm going to set that aside for a second, and I'm going to grab a strip of the scrap of paper that I had cut down from my main card base piece, and I'm going to flip that over and color it with some black soot ink, Distress Oxide ink. I love doing this as well with my scraps and using up pieces that I might otherwise trash. So I'm going to use this newly colored strip to be kind of the anchor for the word enjoy. Off camera, I added some foam tape to the back of each of the letters, and now I'm just going to place these down. Now my word is on my little paper strip, and so I'm going to line this up and attach it to my card front. Now this strip is a little bit longer than my card, so I'm just going to trim that off, add the dot for my J, and gather my other pieces to complete the card. And there it is, our finished masculine birthday card. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time.